Okay, now the question I have for you right at the moment is, what are rules? What are some rules that you have to live by? Bradley, what are some rules you live by?
I can't beat up my sister.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good rule. How about you, Kayla?
Don't murder people.
Don't murder people, that's a very good idea too. All right, how about you, Ellie?
Oh, I forgot the one I was gonna say. Oh, don't get in too many fights.
Yeah, that's a good one too. How about you, Kayla?
Obey my parents.
Obey your parents. Now see, that's a positive rule, and that's the kind of thing we want to think about. There are positive rules that we don't like, but they are done for a particular purpose. Like, and we need to remember there are differences between rules and strong suggestions. For instance, if Mom says, make your bed, that's a strong suggestion. Okay. But if the rule is, in order for you to get your allowance, you have to make your bed, then that's a rule. There are rules out there on the highway, and they're there for people to obey, which they don't always do. You guys have been out there and seen drivers who are doing what they shouldn't do. And the reason we have those rules is because they want to keep people safe. Well, in math we have rules too, and you know we've gone through some of them. But today we are going to look at two particular rules that are important for us when it comes to adding and subtracting directed numbers. So you need to open your book to page 70. Page 70. No, oh, page 222, lesson 70, right. And they give us in that nice box the rules for adding directed numbers. Okay, one half of it is easy, one half of it is not so easy. So we'll look at the part that's easy first. The part that's easy says, if you are adding two numbers that have the same sign, positive 9 plus positive 6. You add their absolute values and give them that sign. So we add 9 plus 6, we get 15, and it's positive. Do you have to put the plus sign on there? No, not generally, but it's not wrong if you do. So in order to make sure that you're looking at it in a positive way, you could go ahead and put it on. Or if you have a problem that says negative 8 plus negative 10, you add their absolute values. What's the absolute value of negative 8?
8.
And what's the absolute value of negative 10?
10.
All right, so we add 8 and 10. What's 8 plus 10? 18. And we use that sign. It doesn't change. Now some of you I think are a little confused between addition and multiplication. Don't confuse yourself. We're going to just work with addition right now. And if you're adding, you just add their absolute values and use that sign. All right, so you guys try this one. Negative 4 plus negative 1. Michelle, what did you get?
Negative 5.
Why?
Because I added 4 plus 1.
That's right. The signs are the same, so that's what you do. You add their absolute values and then give them that sign. Okay, what about this one? Trevor, what's this?
It's negative 14.
Okay, and why? That's right, it is negative 14.
You add 6 and 8 together,
And why did it get to be negative 14?
because it's negative.
Because they were negative, okay? Does there anybody have a question about what you do when the signs are the same? Yes, Caleb?
So on the, when we did the line down yesterday, we would do like negative 5 plus negative 1, and then
If you did negative 5 plus negative 1, here's negative 5. So you've gone to here, and then you go -1, which would put it down here at -6. Okay?
Okay,
All right. Anybody else have a question about what we do when the signs are the same? All right, well, the second part is where we get ourselves into trouble. And that's when the signs are different. Like, -3 plus 2. If the signs are different, you have to find out what their absolute values are and you subtract them. The absolute value of -3 is,
3,
and the absolute value of 2 is,
2,
so you subtract. 3 minus 2 is
1.
1. Okay, now is it going to be positive or negative? You check the number that had the greatest absolute value. It's not the greatest number, it's the number with the greatest absolute value. Which of these two numbers has greater absolute value, Maddie?
-3.
So that tells us that our answer is negative. Okay, what about this one? We have 12 plus -22. Josh, did you get it? Okay. What'd you get, Alec?
I got -10
Why?
because 22 minus 12 is 10, but the one with the higher absolute value is a -22, so the number stays negative.
Very good. Everybody see that? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some problems up here. And I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to pick on you, okay? It's not going to be raise your hand time. It's going to be, do I know what I'm doing time, okay? And I'm going to give you the problem and then I'm going to pick on you and I want you to give me the answer and why. Okay, so it would be this kind of a thing. If this were the problem, you would write 16. And then I would say, why? And you would say, because if the signs are the same, the sum is the answer, and that's the sign. If the signs are different, then you subtract their absolute values and use the sign of the number with greater absolute value. I'll help you as we go along here. You'll get the point, okay? Everybody nervous now?
Yep.
All right, so let's try it. I'll give you some easy ones first, like this. All right. All right, Emma, you looked really nervous about this, so you tell me what the other, you, Emma, okay?
Oh, okay.
All right, what'd you get?
I haven't done it yet.
Okay, hurry along.
This is
What'd you get?
So I subtracted the absolute values
Uh-huh,
and I got
you got what?
-9.
You subtracted their absolute values? Subtract means what?
I'm confused.
Okay, we'll come back to you. What did you do, Mikkel?
I got -1
How did you get -1?
because I did 5 minus 4, which is 1, and 5 is bigger, so it's negative.
-1. Okay, subtracting means we split them apart. Adding means we get them bigger. Okay? All right, so let's try this one. We've got 23 plus -50. All right, Gabe, what'd you get? How?
I subtracted the absolute values, and -50 had a greater absolute value, so it was
Very good, that's exactly what you need to say, okay? All right, well, let's see if I can't find some that are a little harder. I have a whole page of it. Okay, we have -3 plus -5. Tell us what's that?
-5
Why?
Because you add 5 plus 3 and they're both negative, so it's negative.
Good, their signs are the same. All right, how about this one? Chris, what'd you get there?
I added both numbers, I got 14.
Is it positive or negative?
Positive,
Why?
because, neither of them are negative.
Right, their signs are the same. Okay, let's look at this one. -8 plus 5. Bradley, what'd you get?
I got -3
Why?
because I subtracted their absolute values and -8 is the higher absolute value, so that makes it.
That makes it -3. Does anybody have any question about how to do this? Yes, Georgia?
If one like I just did, if the 5 was negative, would 3 be positive?
No. If this were negative, and that were positive,
Yeah.
yes, then it would have been positive, right. It's the one that has the greater absolute value. And remember yesterday we talked about that it's not what the sign is, it's just how far away from 0 is it? Thomas?
So the only time that you actually add the numbers is when they're both negative, so they're both positive.
That's right. Mhm. Okay, Bradley?
Why is that -5 in parentheses?
Well, because sometimes they do that. You see, it's kind of hard to deal with a situation with a plus and a minus right up against each other. Do you have to do that? No. But the best way to do it, if you've got that, is to go -3, oh, this is a great pen, plus, and then make your -5 up in the air. And the negative sign, and then that way you know it's negative, but you still can use just the plus sign. Okay? Anybody else have questions about it? All right, well, this is lesson 70. It's due on Thursday because you have a test tomorrow. Okay?